Alrighty guys, welcome to episode 3 of the series. This one right here, this is a game changer. We're actually going to talk how to trade the market and when you know the market's going to shift, like bearish to bullish or bullish to bearish. So you will stop guessing, and this episode is going to make it where you're not guessing and now you're just cleanly reading price action. Alright, let's get more in depth in the change in the state of delivery, also known as a CISD. Um, with this, you will know when market is done having its move to go towards some other posing liquidity. So, for example, we just took out this sell side. A CISD can only be shown after taking some sort of liquidity, so we just did right here. We have a series of down close candles right here. This would be our last leg of series of down close candles. We would have our change in the state here. This proves that the market now wants to go higher to this draw in liquidity, this buy side. Right there. We already took this internal. This would be known as low resistance liquidity, and I would want to see this get ran through on the way up to this buy side. So I would want to see this buy side get swept at some point through the night. Alrighty, when looking for a change in the state of delivery, I do have a checklist that goes on into my brain. So right now we took some pose of liquidity. Confirming that, we have a series of down close candles. The last candle would be our change in the state. We did have a big displacement move. I would want to see a fair value gap get tapped back into to enter the trade, which would be over here. We will get more in depth into that in episode 4. But a fair value gap, a change in the state is honestly not that complicated. You just got to learn to watch it and notice when the structure is changing. So this was a bullish change in the state. I'm going to try to find a bearish. So we just took this form of liquidity right here of this buy side. I'd want to zoom in a bit more if I can go back to it. Alright, right here. So we just got a close. We just took this buy side, and now we would want to see a close below this candle, giving us confirmation. This is the last leg. This is the last candle of this series of up closing candles. So we would have our change in the state right here. We would also have a fair value gap that comes with it right here, a fair value gap that we did inverse, giving us more confirmation that this trade would want to go lower. This is honestly perfect. We also have a manipulation leg of internal sell side that was taken here, more confirmation. I would get change in the states confused because I would see potentially, oh, we took out, if I'm too zoomed in, I'm like, oh, we took out this buy side, this buy side. We have a series of down close candles right here. We get a change in the state, which is not technically a change in the state. We see a move down, it doesn't go down. We have a move taking out the stop loss. A good change in the state is when an external sell side or buy side is taken, and then you could have internal manipulation, like after this high. This would be internal manipulation to knowing that the market does not want to go higher, it wants to go down, reaching this 1 minute for value gap right there. And so yeah, you just got to keep an eye on that. You don't want to be too zoomed in because this isn't a valid change in the state since we just took internal. You want to be looking for these external highs getting taken. Alrighty, so I'm going to try to give you an example of a change in the state in a higher time frame, which this is where you get our daily biases from. So for example, right here we did enter we did enter this 4-hour PD array. So I would want to see price come down, take some sort of sell side, potentially have a move up, which we did take internal sell side, forming our change in the state. We did close above a 4-hour change in the state right here. In the 1 hour, we also formed a 1 hour change in the state, series of down close candles after taking some posing liquidity. Formed a 1 hour. This is going into the day. If this was before market open, I would want to see price um, turtle soup something, which we'll get more into the later episodes, and then price go higher. But since it's overnight, we'll probably take this buy side and then accumulate price to then have a manipulation, then distribution for market open. So you want to align the higher time frame change in the states with the lower time frame, because if your higher time frame's bullish but you see a internal bearish change in the state, you obviously not gonna the trade's not gonna go in your favor because the bearish daily bias, or the daily bias isn't going with the higher time frame. It all has to be completely fractal and completely come together for the model to actually work. So the most important thing is knowing how to read daily bias and what are the draws on liquidity going into the day. And that's how you successfully trade this model. Alrighty, so now I'm going to clear out the chart and I'm in the 1 hour right now. I'm going to zoom in on price and I'm just going to zoom out. Trade replay right there. Go into a random spot in time. And so zooming in a bit more, let's go to the daily candle to where I would want to see price come daily. I'm going to give you a live change in the state. Okay, we just took this form of sell side on the daily candle. This is getting real zoomed out. We do have a bullish change in the state after taking some liquidity. So I'd want to see price go higher going on to the later days. I'm going to go into the 4 hour now. Now zoom in a bit more. I'm just slowly doing a top-down analysis to find the daily bias and to find what the draws on liquidity are. So we have a 4 hour candle 4 hour PD array that we just tapped back into. I want to see price come higher. Maybe take out this low right there. Going into the 1 hour now. I would want to potentially see price come back into this range. Take out this sell side, potentially see it move back higher. Because we did now create... Nah, we don't have equal highs. So that would have been perfect. Zooming in a bit more to the 15 minute. We'll see what price wants to do here. We just have a big move following my bias. I wanted to see market go up. It went up completely without me. Let's see if we can find something. I still am very bullish. I want to see us tap back into this 1 hour PD array. We get to the 15 minute now. Taking out this pose of liquidity. Price could just run on without me. Alright, so we tap back into this 1 hour PD array. Go into the 5 minute. Can we go into the 1 minute? Yeah, we can. Go into the 5 minute. Want to see if we get some manipulation leg. We don't. We have a... I'm going to put this as the change in the state on the 5 minute. We do have this. We could have this. It's technically this is a change in the state right here. Series of candles. Change in the state. 5 minute for value gap. Tap back into. Go into the 1 minute. I want to see something internal now show up with price, or price completely goes up. So this would be a valid change in the state. It just, my entry wasn't right. Played it on a bit too much. So we took some sell side liquidity, had a 5 minute change in the state, also a 1 minute change in the state right here. Retested back to this 5 minute for value gap. Price then to consolidate and then to have a big move up, targeting these relative equal highs right here. So this would be a live change in the state, witnessing this is the model. We maybe have some SMT, maybe an SMT here potentially. this would give me more conviction to take the trade, potentially an SMT here. But yeah, this was the live model, and yeah. Alrighty, this was a trade I took Monday, and this was a loss because I jumped in too early and I didn't try to read price. So we did go up price. This is Monday's open at 9:30. We had a move, a manipulation higher, taking out this buy side liquidity. My bias was bearish going into the day. I remember this. Took out this buy side liquidity. I was like, okay, if we get below this, this would be the change in the state of delivery. We go. Keep going. I jumped the gun too early right here. I think I get my position right here. Put my stop at this high, targeting the internal. I wanted to target this whole range right here. I think I put my stop right at this wick high. So it's targeting a 1 to 2 RR on this trade. Jumped the gun way too early. Didn't even get our, technically this is our first presented for value gap right here. We get our first presented, which we'll get on. I'm maybe showing the first presented, but this is ICT thing, so you can look on that and the ICT mentorship on his channel. So I jump into it too early. I was like, maybe we'll get a retest. We completely blow through, creating, which gives me more confirmation, a manipulation leg. Gives me a manipulation leg right here. We get boom, which we'll get on into later details. Now this becoming my change in the state. I didn't enter this trade, but I did watch price completely go down and just shatter. Boom. Just completely melt all the way down to that low. So that is what is jumping the gun too early. Just because we go through it doesn't mean we get a close. This was the reason I lost this trade, is because we closed below it, had a manipulation move it back, taking out this internal high, boom, shot down, took out this low that I was targeting. So now learning the change in the state, the market doesn't leave without you. It has a trail, and the change of the state is the trail that it potentially wants to retest. And that is how you know the market isn't just taking liquidity and going back and forth, and you may think it's not going to where you want because you don't know there's a change in the state there, or potentially there isn't a change in the state there. And now knowing this information, you have hugely increased your chances of having a well-rounded strategy. And this is episode 3, so we are only just beginning. We have till episode 8 to learn this full model, and I'm super excited for what is to come. Alrighty, so now that you know what changing the states are, your job before going into episode 4 is to find valid change in the states, bearish and bullish, and take screenshots of them. And once you do finally find a market structure shift where it changes before it's obvious, do comment below that you found a valid change in the state and you are ready for episode 4, so I know when to post it. I am super excited. We're going to be going more into depth about when to enter with fair value gap helping, how the retest with the fair value gap helps going hand in hand with the change in the state, and how it just gives us more conviction trading the model. So I am super excited. Alrighty guys, you just finished episode 3 of the trading series, and now you are not chasing the markets, you are sniping the markets with beautiful entries with the change in the state. So I hope you do find this video helpful. Please leave a like and subscribe. I am going to try to complete this series soon, so just let me know, and hope everyone has an amazing day, and peace out guys.